How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. Well, if you look around, it looks a little different. As you can see, I got my camera and my microphone. Those are packed away. I was able to find them. I was able to move a bunch of boxes so I could move my desk where it is and film this. As you can see, this is how we've been living. Basically, a mattress on the floor, some boxes everywhere, and basically waiting for the rest of the house to get finished so we can move down into the master. So the master is actually being worked on right now. Should be done hopefully within, I don't know, probably by tomorrow, maybe. So this might be the last night. We all have to sleep in my office. But yeah, this is going to be my office. I'm going to do something cool down the line to redo this. But yeah, let's get into the topic. So today we're going to talk about, I get this question a lot. What should I buy? That's what people ask me. They're like, what should I buy? What should I buy? They don't really know. And I always say the same thing. I'm like, well, what is your goal? Your goal, is it long-term investment? That's what I like to promote. Or is it a short-term thing? Like you just want to get whatever's hot right now and sell it at a profit in the 3 to 6 months or whatever it is? Or is it you're buying something you really like? Or is this just straight up investment only? So that's my first question. Then I can gauge what the person wants because, recently I got an email from someone. It's straight up investments. Like, no, he's like, comics are cool. I had him as a kid, but that's about it. Like, no connection to a certain character or anything. So I always give like my big three, which is Fantasy 15, Hulk 181, Giant Size X-Men 1. Those are like generally after I ask them what their budget is. But depending on what your goal is, a better question is not what, but when. So it's when should I buy, when should I sell? That is a better question. What I should buy after I know your goals, I can slowly figure out what is a better option. If your goal is, I just want to buy comics I like, well, I can't help you there, right? I can tell you, give me a character and I can tell you what are better investments. But I'm more of a long-term investment for comic books. So a better question is when, right? When should I buy? When should I sell? If that is your goal, right? So what I should buy, it depends on your goal, but when is much better because then it's like, okay, you narrow it down to, let's say, Hulk 181. It's like, when should I buy? Well, if all of a sudden, Marvel came out with a trailer featuring Wolverine and all that kind of stuff, and the hype was really, really high, when I should buy shouldn't be now. You should wait until the hype dies a little bit and goes down, which there will happen. Even if it's a good character, there will be a kind of dip down. That's when you should buy. If you already have the book and you ask when I should sell, that is the perfect time, when the hype is the highest. So it's a better question of when. That's how you can maximize most of your money, either on the buying side or the selling side. There's a lot of books, though, that you shouldn't even buy really generally at all unless you like them because they're kind of books that will never really go anywhere. Like common non-key books, they'll just slowly move up. Because I'm all about investment. So that's kind of like the whole purpose of the channel. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at something, a comic, whatever it is, different collectible or anything. Ask yourself, when is a better question. Is this the right time to buy? Because so many times I get people coming to me with these spec books, these like really hot books, and I'm like, well, if they're already on these hot lists, when to buy is not a good time to buy this one. When to sell, it's probably a good time to sell this one because it's hot now. It might go up a little more, sure, but that is, who knows really. But generally speaking, when the hype is at its peak, that's when it's time to sell, not to buy. And then when no one's talking about it and no one cares, that is the time to buy and not to sell. So just think of that question in your head when you're looking at things like when, and also ask yourself, what is your goal here? If your goal is to collect a complete run, then it doesn't really matter now, does it? Right? When you buy it or when you sell it. If your goal is for a short term, then this when question is actually very, very important. If it's a long-term investment, then the when question isn't that important. because you could literally, even if it's a Hulk 181, you're buying it at the peak of the hype, whatever it was. Say you bought top dollar, world record price. Well, if you're holding it for 10, 20 years, it's going to go up regardless. So not that important there. So just remember, narrow down what your goal is, and then narrow down the when question. And then I think you should be good. All right, have a great day.